Oh, another big one at Rooster Teeth is gone. One of the co-founders is out. Oh, Joel Heyman is gone from Rooster Teeth. And thing is, why wasn't there a public announcement about this? We should definitely get into this. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So Joel Heyman, the voice of Caboose and Oobleck, if you remember him, well, he's gone. Apparently out of the blue, and the only way that anybody knew about him actually being gone was because of an announcement on Twitter. Yeah, I'm not kidding. There wasn't even a formal announcement from Rooster Teeth saying that one of their co-founders has left the company. Nothing. There is not a statement or anything. It's ridiculous. Joel Heyman, being one of the biggest people within Rooster Teeth, many people like Joel because he was Caboose in Red vs. Blue. He was Oobleck and Ruby, which was also a cool character. It's strange to me that a co-founder, who was also a writer for them too, very strange that Rooster Teeth would never make a statement about it themselves. Now, isn't that odd, though? To call someone your friend, and then, instead of seeing them off, instead of, saying like, oh, we're so glad you were here with us, we wish you the best of luck, something like that. You don't say a word. I mean, what kind of a friend does that? Isn't that just so strange? Because it's very odd to me that they would do that to somebody that was also a co-founder. You would think that they would definitely acknowledge him at least in some way, and no, they don't even do that. We're going to get into a lot of this here, so let's take a look at the tweets that was where he actually revealed he left, right? Since Rooster Teeth doesn't seem to want to acknowledge him. So one person started with saying, when did he leave? Source, very sad, just watching his Terraria LP last night. And then this is when Joel responded, and this is what he stated. I was laid off, in quotations, after making tens of millions for others. When I started, I had no health care, 401k, or salary. Worked harder than anyone can know. I basically stopped coming in. After a thing, I have my reasons for that, but it's a long deal. Now, isn't that odd? When looking at the statement saying that he was laid off, in quotations, and then he said he basically just stopped coming in, and there was a reason, multiple reasons, in fact, because he said reasons. That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good when it comes to Rooster Teeth. So Rooster Teeth, what's going on there? Isn't that something? Being shady again and having your closet filled with skeletons that are going to fall out eventually, because they always do. You're terrible at hiding anything you can do because you're incompetent. Joel continued to say, despite some healthcare problems with no insurance, I managed a move back to LA despite a global issue, and now riots coming down my street. I'm still somehow breathing. Well, at least he was able to make it home. I mean, hopefully you stay safe, Joel. Hopefully you stay safe. But, people here, they're surprised to see this happen to Joel. And, it's just out of nowhere as well. I mean, like I said, Rooster Teeth not saying anything about this doesn't make any sense. You would think that they would. So, continuing on, he said, thank you. He was a fun little character. Glad I got the opportunity to do it for as long as I did. They recorded some PSAs, so they have those. Now, isn't that shady? Why would they record PSAs and then use them after you're gone? Also, he doesn't just mention this one time. He mentions this twice. Here's the second statement. It was funny because before dropping me, I was brought in to record a bunch of PSAs as Caboose. Guess so they could have a library after I was gone or something. I should have seen the writing on the wall. Lol. This is shady. Shady as can be. Rooster Teeth. You gotta be kidding me. Making him record a bunch of PSAs. You know what this sounds like? Let me tell you a little something interesting for those who don't know. When Kathleen Zulch, after she was gone, they still used her voice despite the fact that she was gone. They took old recordings of her, and then they reworded them so that they would match what she would say. Yeah, that's a fact. Very strange. And now here they are doing this, but instead actually having more recordings of Caboose, from Joel. Very strange. Did it have to do with your political opinions not aligning with everyone else there? It seems like everyone there is super far left, and I wondered if a conservative would be treated differently. And they are. See, here's the thing. Rooster Teeth is a company, and I'm just going to throw this out there. They are a company based off nepotism, and they are a company that they do see you by your politics, and if you align differently than them, they look at you differently. They don't treat you with respect. It is disgusting. It's what they do all the time. And, if you have different political alignments than they don't give you as good of opportunities had you actually been in the same political alignment as them. That is true. Many animators have come out to state that, and people on the inside that I've talked to have come out to state that as well. Rooster Teeth is nothing more than a madhouse. It is insane how awful they really are as a company. And so then there was this person that stated, here's a few theories people have. And this person then responded saying, I don't see many theories, just a bunch of Joel is an orange man supporting World War II villain, and I'm glad he's gone. The typical thing Puritans say whenever it comes to people that they see as their enemies. They call them ist or phobes or World War II villains, things of that sort, if they don't align with their ideology. You know how it works. So this is actually the Reddit post here. Joel Heyman, Professor Oobleck, is no longer with Rooster Teeth, and so, of course, they have the tweets where he had announced it. And then, this is what people were saying. This is pretty sad news, but he hasn't had a role in several seasons. Wish he had other projects he could be a part of. Another person came in to say, he has been the main character of Red vs. Blue, which has been running for 17 years now, and a fan favorite character at that. They definitely have a much larger problem. Oh, of course they do. Big time. They keep losing money. Financially, they are in huge trouble. It is huge trouble. And, the company keeps just falling. RWBY itself, the interest in that series is just declining. Of course, as I talked about earlier today, they had their DC comic lines of Genlock and RWBY, the print versions canceled because DC didn't see them as essentials. This is really telling. Very telling. I'm not surprised. He's been getting more and more controversial as the years went by. He has been downright insensitive to Rooster Teeth staff. When Gavin and Meg's house was broken into, instead of comforting them, Joel told them they should buy a gun. What's wrong with that? I really asked this. What's wrong with having a weapon to protect yourself if in case something bad happens? You know what I mean? Like, if somebody breaks into your house, right? If you have a weapon, if in case you need to protect yourself, you have a right to protect yourself. I'm just saying. What's wrong with that? That's actually a, good thing to tell somebody, if they need to protect themselves in case something bad happens. Well, it's best to be safe than sorry. Then there was the situation where he wished Senator McCain would die from the cancer. Then, more recently, he's been retweeting some doctored videos that make the Black Lives Matter protesters look like the aggressors. Well, if you look at the riots and you look at what's going on there, burning down properties and, people getting harmed, that's not worth it. Riots, no reason for that. The stuff that's the rioting shouldn't be happening. Peaceful protesting is one thing, but when it comes down to burning properties down or, harming people, yeah, that stuff shouldn't happen. That's utterly ridiculous, and the riots don't solve anything. He became pretty damn controversial among the company and was warned about it from what I recall. Doesn't matter how much money you bring to the company if they think you're becoming problematic. Oh, there's that word. Oh, God. They have every right to want to cut ties with you. Or is it because there could be things that the company just doesn't like, and then they just get rid of somebody? Seriously, we've seen that before. We've seen them fire people for no good reason at all. Vic Mignogna never should have been fired. Does not matter. That never should have happened. But Rooster Teeth, they are a part of the big cancel culture. They love cancel culture, clearly, as we've seen. And, cancel culture is so terrible. It's awful. Cannot stand it. But, cancel culture, in my opinion, should not be a thing. But, hey, it is. But, this is something that Rooster Teeth completely supports and shows you how sickening Rooster Teeth is as a company. Damn, this is unexpected, or rather for me, it is as I don't know what he's done or if he is a massive arsehole behind the scenes. Oobleck can be replaced, but I think he may be a character that served a purpose prior to Volume 5 and added to some Yang scenes in Volume 4. If, and it looks like this is the case, as there are comments revealing some surprising stuff, he has turned into an egotistical prick that is unlikable, causing RT nothing but trouble for them. I am not surprised. And then another person came in here and said something very interesting. This is a big statement here. They kind of have been. So I doubt they do appreciate his work. Joel has been conspicuously absent from the listings of the RT founders for a while. It's part of the reason it was suspected that he was on shaky grounds with the company. Now, isn't that odd? You know, it's like the Ruby Companion book. One of the most sickening things that they did in that book was they completely threw out Vic Mignogna that was Crow at one time, because Vic Mignogna was the original voice for Crow and should have stayed the original voice. But my point with that is that they erased Vic because they didn't like him. That's why they didn't give him credit in that companion book. And now, when you look at it, they haven't been giving credit to Joel for a while. That means that there must have been something that happened behind the scenes that, isn't out. And, by Joel's statements as well, saying that there were reasons, for him to go, reasons for him to leave. It's very odd. Rooster Teeth, what are you doing to your employees over there? What are you doing to the people that you don't agree with? How awful are you going to treat them? I mean, those animators are still getting abused and you don't do anything about it. So let me ask you, to people like Joel or anyone else you disagree with, what are you doing over there to them then, huh? And this is also something to think about. With Joel gone too, we've been knowing that over time there have been layoffs. There have been a lot of things going on with the company. And, I've heard a lot of things from insiders that Rooster Teeth is more than likely going to be rolled into Cartoon Network's animation. Is this to cut down numbers as well? It really makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you think that they're going to be rolling in Rooster Teeth sooner than thought into Cartoon Network from what I've been told by insiders. If this does come to happen, it looks like it's going to be sooner rather than later. And this is what happens, Rooster Teeth, because you got woke and now you're going broke. And you know what? This is where we're continuing to watch the fall of Rooster Teeth. And Joel, good luck to you, and I hope to see great things come out of your future, man. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you were new here, and make sure you were still subscribed because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.